Welcome to this Transforming Learning Fife video on Showbie, creating assignments.
To create an assignment in your class, tap the plus when you're in your class main page or when you're within a folder and choose Assignment. Remember that an assignment can be a collection of resources, it could be a series of lessons, it can be anything that you want it to be. First thing you need to do is give your assignment a name. The next part asks for a description. You don't need to put a description in here, so I'm going to leave this blank. The next part lets me choose if I would like to have a due date for my assignment. This can be used if I want to use Showbie to set a piece of homework. So I can toggle this on and I can go into the calendar and I can choose an appropriate date and a time. If I'm using this for my lessons in class, I might have the due date off. We then get the option to include in the gradebook. This is helpful for our assessment and feedback, so I'm going to leave that toggled on, and we can choose what grading format we'd like to use, and I'm going to keep this to a custom entry. You might want to explore some of the other options depending on the type of assignment that you are creating. The next part lets me decide the student access to the assignment. By default, it is set to editable. If we tap here, you can see the different options that we have. If I have some co-teachers in my class and I want to use an assignment to share some resources with my other teachers or perhaps carry out some observations, I could actually make this assignment hidden. This means it's only visible to the teachers that are in my class, and we can be using this to communicate with each other and share resources. The other options are editable. This means that everything in the assignment is accessible for my learners, and it means that they can edit anything that I upload and they can use it to submit their work. I could make something view only. This is really helpful if I want to add some information to support my learners, for example, a class timetable, and I could make that view only, which means they can't edit it. I can use the locked access if I want to prepare some lessons ahead and I want to post up my assignments, but I don't want my learners to have access just yet. So I can leave the assignment unlocked, and then I can go to scheduled access and I can add a schedule. Here I can go in and change the date, so if I want them to have access one of the days during the week, I can go in and change the times. Then I can decide at that time that I want the assignment to be editable for them. This is how I would use a schedule for my assignment. If you don't want to do that, just tap cancel and choose the access that you would like. I'm going to keep this on editable, and then I'm going to tap save. Then I need to tap create. This has now created a blank assignment for me, and I can see I've got my learners down the side here, and I can start posting in what I'm going to use this assignment for. So there could be some instructions that I'm going to write into a comment, or I could be using the plus and I could be adding in any of the different content here. We have another video about adding content to Showbie where you can find out more about that feature. If I want to change the settings of any of my assignments, when I'm in the assignment, I can tap the three dots and I can go into the settings and I can go and change some of the features. So for example, if I decide that I would like a due date, I can go and toggle that on, or if I want to go in and change the student access, I can do that as well. Also from the three dot menu, this is where I can make a copy of an assignment that I've created, or if I want to share a copy of this with another teacher, I can do that. I can also mark everything as done. I might want to use this feature to support my learners after they have completed this assignment and the work within that, or I could get my learners to do that themselves. If you create an assignment and you decide that you would like it to be in a folder, so my example here is sitting outside any of my class folders at the moment, if I swipe and I tap the first icon, I can actually move my assignment. So if I decide that actually I need this to be within my French folder, I can tap move. And that will move the assignment and everything that I've uploaded into it within that folder. The next option is to make a copy, and the last is to archive. We can archive an assignment and it means that it's no longer viewable by any of my learners. But this is also a way that we can delete as well. If I tap the settings and show archived, I can see here is my archived lesson, and if I go into it, it tells me that it's archived, and I have the option to then delete the assignment as well. Bear in mind that if you delete any of the assignments and your learners have uploaded some work and that's been saved in, say, their portfolio, for example, those pieces of work will disappear. The best thing to do is just to leave the assignment active or just to archive it. You have flexibility in how you want to use the assignment feature. You could use this to create an assignment per task within different lessons, or you could have an assignment per lesson and there are different tasks posted within. Remember to go and have a look at our video about uploading content. This will help your understanding of assignments and how you might want to use them.